People of Twitch, welcome to the live show after Lucca Comics and Games 2021. What is Lucca Comics and Games? First of all, how are you guys? Hope you're well. I hope that you are wonderful in this evening. And this could be the first streaming with no game. So just chatting between me and you about this con, like Comic-Con, and this wonderful city, medieval city called Lucca. Why I have in my heart such a displays. It's very easy, brothers and sisters. Lucca is my mind since I was young. Since 1994, when I convinced my father to bring me there and to... Oh, just a second. Sorry, guys. Oh, okay. Wonderful. Perfect. The time that I convinced my father to bring me to Lucca Comics and Games. In 1994, Lucca Comics and Games was a simple, just a place that was written at the end of Spider-Man comics. You know? Like this ones. What I can say, brothers and sisters, what I can say, it's very easy. It was a nice... it was my first time as a sort of exhibitor in Lucca. I just passed through the barricade and I arrived at where the people stay to make us fun. What are the sensations about this? It was wonderful. Because I met so many people that stays there. Like me. That maybe in the past we are just a player of a TTRPGs that say for tabletop RPGs. Dude, boom! Thank you very much, brother. Thank you very much for coming here. And as usual, in my channel, what my friend Bomb brings, NBA 2K22. Thank you very much for coming. We are speaking about an Italian version of the Comic-Con, the second Comic-Con in the world after San Diego one in United States. That is Lucca Comics and Games, that is in Italy. Since 1970, 1969, something like that. And I was there in this long weekend from Tuesday to Monday, because Monday, you know, it's Saints' Day here in Italy, so it's national holiday. And today is the Day of the Dead. Why I decided to speak about this one? Why? Simple, because I went to Lucca Comics and Games since 1994. I'm 39 years old. And the first time that I went was just... I was just a kid. Let me show how much kid I was. I was very young. I make this tab just because... Let me... one moment. Yeah. I was very young. But let me see how much I was young. Take here. This is new tab. It's a new scene. So Give me a little bit of tolerance. So, let me see how much I was young at the time of Lucca Comics and Game. Yeah. Let me give you something. Yes, I added. Yes, I added. So this is one of the first image that I could give you. Just one moment, guys. Now we'll understand why I'm smiling. Why? This guy in 1994. This young guy over here. You see? With the long crispy hair. Next to the guy with the glasses. It's your friend Ubibol. It's your friend Ubibol. Let me... It's your friend Ubibol, guys. It's me. And this was 1994. This was 1994, and I tell you the story of this picture. This picture was made 1995, sorry guys. Was more than 20 years ago. At that time, we were not nerd. We were considered just losers in our society because we get fun just for comics and for the roleplay games. So this is the story of this is my beginning of Lucca. And just look at this picture with a little bit of transport. Telling this way. And what I can honestly tell you is that Lucca at the time appears very, very far from my house. Even if 2 hours enough, something like that. Actually, it was the distance. It was huge, and I passed so many months to ask to my father, please bring me to Lucca, bring me to Lucca again, and again and again. And even all the things that you know about Lucca was at the end of comics like Spider-Man or X-Men or Avengers. Just comics. Last page. And you have this sort of a myth that was a Lucca Comics and Game exhibition. And it cost so much. At that time there was no euro coin. It was just lira. That was our previous coin. And I have the comic Romita in my book because I was in front of one of my hero, that is Mr. John Romita Jr. And I will show you how much this kid was so see the face. This is Mr. John Romita. You see on the right. Oh, sorry, on the left. That was his wife. John Romita is one of the greatest. John Romita Jr. One of the greatest comic maker in the world. Son of another great comic maker. And it works for Marvel. And he's the creator of Kick-Ass comic. Moreover, see the hair is like a MacGyver, so this is very 90, brothers and sisters. 90. There is something even 80s, but very 90s. As I remember, how my English was very bad at the time, just to know some kind of word, and I was very anxious in front of this man because it's something that was completely unusual. Not like today that you can find in any Comic-Con a lot of stars that's come. You can make a queue and you can arrive over there. We were a bunch of idiots in front of a genius of one of our myths, like to meet Schwarzenegger or Stallone for us. At the time, the con was just like only comics. Comics card game, like Magic. Very, very, very few TTRPGs. TTRPGs stays for tabletop roleplay games. So we speak things like Dungeons and Dragons, paper, pencils, and dices. That was the time of the Advanced, if I remember well. The third edition was not out at the time, if I remember well. Did you see my face? Did you see my face? Right. It was a very happy kid. Very, very happy kid. I look very amazed, astonished by this. I'm very happy. Remember this. It was one geological era ago, but I'm happy about that. I'm happy to remember. Let me see another picture. Yeah, this is the proof of happiness. This is wonderful, guys, huh? Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. Are you ready? This is an happy boy. This is an happy boy. From 1995, this is an happy boy. Really happy boy. Really happy boy because this was a Romita comic book with my jacket of Chicago Bulls. I don't know where it is. Maybe it's not more. At my house. Jeans. Sweatshirt. And rain at that time. Always. If there's no rain on Lucca, there's no Lucca. Just this year, 3 days of sun and 1 day of the strong rain. Yeah. It was wonderful. It was very wonderful period of my life when I just started to go to Lucca Comics and Game. And I saw in the years Lucca transform itself so much from Lucca as just an exhibition for comics. Comics leave space. American comics leave space to manga comics from Japan, and then they include more things. So things like TTRPGs, so Dungeons and Dragons, card game like Magic the Gathering, miniature game Warhammer, and then started at a big from 2005 or 6, if I remember well. It transformed definitely to Lucca comics and games. It means they derive the esports and the challenges in the video games. But just remember the beginning. Beginning was there. It was a big park, a big parking area with a lot of boxes where people stay checking comic by comic. If you have there, I had. You remember in in the comic store and Big Bang Theory? No, I have it. Yeah, that was the beginning. The Big Bang Theory, except for the genius, is my story. It's the story of the old guys that comes that was born in the 80s and go to the 90s. But even the guys that was born on 70s and they grow up in the 80s and arrive on the 90s. But in the 90s, we were at a maximum level. My opinion, the maximum level. Anyway, may I have another one? Yes, of course. Yes. Sorry for this record period, but I would like to let you understand what Lucca means to me. And it is a press conference with the brothers Lupoy that at the time there was not Disney, there was no there was no Panini. Panini is Italian editor that was linked to Marvel. Marvel at the time, if I remember well, was all alone. Just they print by themselves. They were so strong at the time. It was a Clone Saga era of Spider-Man that we as fandom we tolerated for a lot of numbers, guys. It was a press conference, you see, with Jeremy the Jr., Lucca 95, Lucca Games. You see, there was at the moment just the games. Anyway, it was wife, Mrs. Romita, Mr. John Romita Jr., Mr. Marcello Lupoy, and Marco Lupoy. That at the time, these two gentlemen were Marvel Comics in Italy. It doesn't exist movie at the time, except for terrible movie coming from the 70s, 80s. Things that are... No, TV series, Hulk with Lou Ferrigno and Bill Bixby, it was great. But there were some movie about Spider-Man that was particular. Just to not say something well. If you cannot see something good, it's better to not say anything. Anyway, this is Lucca 1995. There were so many years passed before I joined Lucca again. I joined Lucca for many years. Then I had to stop. Then thanks to my rejoin to Lucca. Yes, yeah. Oh, wonderful, guys. Wonderful. This image. How much is important Lucca for the world of comic? I will tell you. I will tell you. Have a guess. Who is this gentleman? Have a guess. This gentleman is Mr. Stanley. 1974. In an interview that our national broadcast made to the Man of Dream, as they call. Mr. Stanley went to Lucca Comics just to visit the most important comic exhibition in Europe. So from this you understand very well what Lucca means for the world of comic. But let me see something else. Let me see something. I would like to show you something very important. Many years are passed since that day, but with my friends. This is 2018 Lucca Comics and Games, and I will show you how much the kid of that picture has grown. This picture is made with my friend, my great friend, and an authors. Friends and authors. Friends and authors. This people is great. There's one of my favorite authors over there. Under the left side of this picture, this part is full of my great friend. And I was a cosplayer of a drunk medieval guy. At this moment, I wasn't a part of to be guest. Just pay my ticket, and I went there for many days with my wife. That other moment was not in this picture. Let me see my best moment of Lucca Comics. This was 2019. The last one before the lockdown. This is the greatest moment that I had a look for. This gentleman is the king of the infinite, in my opinion. This gentleman is Cosmic Jim Starlin, the man who created Thanos, the Infinity Gauntlet, and the old Infinity Saga in comics. This is, for me, has made me thrilling even now. I have the goosebumps. I made literally one full day on Tuesday, if I remember well, to arrive to Mr. Starling under the rain with a comic that I purchased approximately 25 years before. And I bring the Infinite Crusade saga complete to let him sign. I remember that when I pick from my bag these 7 numbers of the Infinite Crusade with my favorite hero that was Warlock in the front of a comic, because I am a maniac in this sense, they are very like the same day that I purchased it. Mr. Starling told to me, did you purchase originally these ones? Yes, sir. I served for this moment. And he said something that I will never forget. You, and I tell him, thank you. Thank you for make my kid, to make a kid happy. Because you make me happy. With everything you wrote. You did for us, for my generation. He said, you thank to me? You say thank to me? I say thank to you. I've never seen something so perfectly served in time like this comics. So I'm very happy and proud to sign this for you. Imagine. See my face so you understand. Repeat. I have a goosebumps now. I have goosebumps now. Whew. This is the first man that changed everything. But it was another one. It was another gentleman. This gentleman is the most kind man that I ever made and signed copy. Mr. Chris Claremont. Practically the man who invented the X-Men, including Wolverine. So the reaming Wolverine, Logan, comes from the pencil of this man and the mind of this genius. Same year, another day of Q under the rain with comic on my back. Try to not let them be completely under the water. And here we goes with another hero, another hero, another hero. Even from the same year, the third Q with Mr. Sorry guys, Mr. Don Rosa. Don Rosa practically with Carl Banks invented Ducktown for Mickey Mouse World. So he's the man behind Scrooge McDuck, what in Italy we call Zio Paperone. He is a very nice guy. He's a nice man. He's a gentleman. These three men are gentlemen, real gentlemen. They stay still for thousands of guys that want to have things signed by them. Don Rosa was incredible kind person. And what the house of the mouse, the destiny that they reserved to him was not good. I complained really much how they treated us so kind gentlemen. So kind gentlemen. It was very funny, man. It's fun. It's funny. He is clever. He's very clever. It appears a person that give to you the chance to understand better how much is competitive and cruel the world of comic, especially in that house with mouse. he ate so much that company. Take me. Let's go farther. Ah, the bold one. The bald one. The bald one, guys, is Mr. Eric Larson. One of the best drawers that I remember. You see that the comics over there, they were mine. I love Venom. I have tons of things of Venom. 4 movies. Be clear. Anyway, Mr. Larson was a great hero. Really great hero. Let me just a moment do one thing. Ba, 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 ba. This was one of the best moments that I had. I love Mr. Larson. Did you see the queue over there? A lot of people stays on the back. This is the mark and my shirt of the association. My association. I take a part. I'm a member that promote the culture of the TTRPGs, of board games, miniature games, war games, comics, everything, just for using imagination. It's my this association is in my town, and I'm proud to be part of it. And this year, I just served our project with really proud to bring TTRPGs even to the youngest one. And Lucca gave us this chance. So thank you very much, guys. Because it's not just a con. There are a lot of money. There are a lot of people. Even if this here was a little bit strongly reduced due to COVID limitations. Anyway, let's get it on. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. It was very, very wonderful, guys. In this exhibition, because I had a part in the world of this game business, I had a part. I met a lot of people in the part of the business and in the part of fandom. Maybe sometimes they mix together. So this was the first year that I was in Lucca, this 2021, with my association to have a project for TTRPGs. Let me see what is the leitmotif of this year. because it's very beautiful to see how much the guys of all ages can link them together. Let me show some pictures. I'd like to show you some pictures from, yes, this one. Let me give you an idea. I can show you something more. This is the first picture that I did for this here, as is the moment that I received the incredible pass for Lucca as exhibitor. Is the same that people from the companies they added. Why I am so happy? The happy is well expressed by the fact that there are only 25,000 tickets, because Lucca Comics and Games till I think more than 50 years, maybe 20, it is around the city. Imagine a fans city, a walled city full of people. Just to give you an example, let me check if I can just to let you understand what does Lucca means. I would like to show you. Imagine, this is just one part of the wall. These are walls here near to the next to the green, no? And imagine people in queue for everything. To enter, if I remember well, at the time to enter in the Dungeons and Dragon dungeon. Physical dungeon, because there is one dungeon in Lucca called San Colombano where they make non-stop one shot of Dungeons and Dragon 5th edition, because it was present over there physically. Dungeons and Dragon from United States brought at the time from the company that at the time has the right of Italian version of Dungeons and Dragons. So imagine that a queue continue for just another more than 500 meters. So people stay still, and you see there was a rain. People with covers, with umbrellas, just to postpone, because you know it's between October and November. If there's no rain in Lucca for Comic-Con, it's not Lucca. Something different. Many cosplayers. Many cosplayers. There was a tournament of cosplayers. Let me share. Let me see you another picture. yeah, this is very... This is very indicative, no? This is from 2019, with one of the moment with sun. Did you see? We have a one Wolverine, we have a one Trigon, we have a lot of people over there. There is one Lady Isabel from Zodiac Knights. Did you see? This is... Oh, okay, it was because you see over there was Batman from Warner Brothers box. So these boxes are located all over the town. It's very wonderful, very nice to see. It's something that goes straight to your heart. Believe me. And what happened in 2020? No Lucca. Just something called campfires. So, Lucca delocated everything, spread it in Italy, using association, using shops, just to make something locally. Even it was very impossible to do something because on the October we were in the period of COVID. First wave of second wave, if I remember well. So physically there's no on 2020. This was the year of restarting. With close number, with a lot of mess in my opinion. Just made... everything was organized. The green light I think arrived 1 month ago. Not more. So everything running. And you cannot organize, you cannot manage an exhibition with 1 month. It's something that you start to prepare today. The day next, the end of the previous year. When you move thousands and thousands of people together over there. In terms of stands, in terms of accessibility, no crowd places, you know, for COVID restriction. There's no chance to enter into the area without ticket. But a lot of people come even without ticket and they are a little bit out of control. But you know, guys, I understand that the organization was not absolutely prepared. Even they located out of town, a lot of stands, a lot of maybe even 20 minutes walking far from the city center, because they located even off the wall. Off. Instead, the other years they are concentrated inside the town. Now I will show you the troopers. This is where ours. This is our the troopers. These are the troopers. And just to take a little bit in. The president on the center and the other guys on the front. The blonde, beautiful woman is my wife. And I was back. You see, we were with the Gioca Ruolando. That means role-playing net. It's a ludic net. So to just promote the TTRPGs as an instrument of education in the school. Very nice. Deeply very nice. It's a nice project and we are proud to be part of this. Really proud. just put away this picture because what we did, simple. We let people play most of the game that they are available. You see? Like this. Tables, miniatures, cards, pencil, dice, or cards, and it's playing. Just tell a story. Just tell something. Just describe a game. In a far, far away, in a fantasy world, in a dark fantasy world, science fiction, science horror, cyberpunk, true. So on the real, for example, there was a game on the real First World War. It is incredible. With the real name of the people that was there, with real pictures. Very, very strong experience that brings with emotions. And thanks to Mr. Elias Poo that was present over there. Maybe you can see is the bald one on the back. Sorry, guys. So it was very, very a nice experience. Truly. Very true, nice experience. We let a lot of people play. And we had a chance to see some friends over there. A lot of friends that are part in the business or not in the world of the association, in the world of the company that works over there, and we had a chance to stay with them. Now I show you one of my best friend. One of my best friend over there is my friend Giuliano. Giuliano was a guest as very incredible wise man that knows every rules of the game that was there from Weird. That was an Italian distributor of Italian translation of TTRPGs, with one of the greatest title in the science fiction, like the Genesis, like Coriolis, and like the role playing of Alien. Alien, you know, Ridley Scott 40 years ago. Alien, the lore of Alien is huge. Comic, books, role-play games, video games, movies, cartoons. So it's huge, incredible huge. And the role-play game with the manuals allow you to have a sensation to the most fear you can feel just playing a role-play game with a master like a Giuliano. Giuliano is a great man, and he is a part of La Tavola Rotonda, APS. So check on internet La Tavola Rotonda. If you check on Facebook, you will find it. Check it. He's a very great man. He is obviously in Italian. In Italian, guys. I'm the only Italian that speaks in English about this. We were at dinner all together in a kind restaurant, very small restaurant that makes very typical Lucca food. Wonderful. He is a great friend. He is a great player. He is a great everything. obviously, we had time to make shopping. To make shopping. And what was the result of the shopping? Let me see you. What was the result of the shopping? I will show you in a moment. Here we are. The result of the shopping is that. Whoa, 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 whoa. So let me explain all these manuals that you have here. First of all, Unglorious. You see, 3 books, 3 manuals. One is the main manual. This one is a manual. This is expansion, and this is adventure. So Unglorious is wonderful. It has a lore of souls that are dead, and they come to life very in the way of the Army of Darkness. So they emerge from the graveyard, and they try to not be seen by the living ones. It's wonderful, and it's a product by Simone Morini for Aces Games, fully Italian production. I think that he needed to translate in English because they were wonderful. This game was one of the candidate for the roleplay game of the year. The roleplay game of the year. But he didn't win. He won Broken Compass RPG, another product of Italian maker Simone Formicola. I remember the 3 names. Now I have a Simone Formicola. Two Little Mice, distributed by Raven Distribution Italy, and the game of the year is Broken Compass, and is made by Riccardo Sirignano, Simone Formicola, and Daniela Giubellini as drawers. They are the artists, and they won even a silver award, and to the end is awarded are like Oscar for the RPGs. Oscar. A little bit down we have Alien. You see the roleplay game. The cover is wonderful. It is made by a Swedish company because Sweden is a very great land for the RPGs. They are made by Free Legion. Is an official game from 20th Century Fox at the time. Now it's Disney. And this is the main manual. And there are a lot of other manuals. One is a cinematic manual. And there are Colonial Marines that introduce the Marines as aliens, the Cameron movie, James Cameron. It's very wonderful, very quick. You just use a mutant here 0 system that is a system of gaming using D6. And it is based by the success that is only 6 in the dice. So you launch just 6 face dices, and the result is only the face with 6. It's good. There are critical hit, and critical failure. So no 6, few 6, total 6. It's very good system. Like Coriolis, another great game from Free League, bring in Italy with a translation of Weird Edizioni, and it is wonderful. It's really wonderful. Over down, you see the starter set that are from Free League that I purchased, because for me it's different to read in Italian or English, no problem. Sometimes maybe I understand that they make some things in the translation that are not correct, but not just for them, just for all. Translation is not so easy. Even because Italian uses expression that are more that are longer than English. English is more telegraphic in this sense. We have we describe the things without terms. So generally, what is written in a column in English is written in 2 in Italian. Our language is very descriptive, and it's very soundy, and Italian is music language, no? Then Brancalonia, spaghetti western, spaghetti roleplay game. What is Brancalonia? Brancalonia is translated even in English, if I remember well, even in Portuguese or Spanish, I don't remember, but in English for sure. Is a roleplay game based on the tradition of movies and medieval stories, comedian in Italy. It makes the sound of Brancaleone. It is one of the most popular movie of Mario Monicelli, great director of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And I added a new adventure, a new manual that was a feudal wars, feudal, that stays for Star Wars. They make in collaboration with Feudalesimo Libertà, that is a great group of guys that makes funny using the Middle Age stereotypes, things like this. If you had the chance, go to see their pages. Feudalesimo e Libertà. So feudalism and freedom. Next to, there is the Kickstarter adventure that I taken from the stand of Acheron Games and our friend Mauro Longo, a deeply wise man and deeply known expert of the roleplay games, the TTRPGs. This word is generally pushed by the companies, by Kickstarters, because if even the winning one, Broken Compass from Two Little Mice, was pushed by a Kickstarter, but Kickstarter that brings a lot of money because people believe in this project and they pledge, and they were helped by the lockdowns because people had a necessity to do something. They play role-play games with easy rules, and Brancalonia and Not the End, another great game from Italian company Fumble GTR, and Broken Compass. You understand from the name that Broken Compass is originally designed for make things like Alan Quatermain and the Solomon Mines, Indiana Jones, a little bit Tomb Raider, a little bit Uncharted. So this genre. The yellow one is my favorite one. It's the most violent RPG in the world. Is Morkborg. Morkborg is a Dark Castle translation from Swedish. It's how I can describe it in a word that I'm going to finish. Everything is possible. Skill, carnage, everything. If you don't know what is Morkborg, just check on the internet what is Morkborg. If you had the chance to play, believe. Play it. It's an OSR. It's coming from the OSR movement. What is OSR? It's old school Renaissance, because there are Dungeons and Dragons is very old, and you know how the things work in United States. The system was under trademark, but after many years, the trademark goes down, so the system became public, and this created a movement called OSR or OS. Yes. I don't remember OSE for the stays for what, and Morkborg, it is the same system of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, the first edition that I played, and the second one in order after the Red Box, that was the first edition of Dungeons and Dragons. And then Rain. Rain is a quick start. It means just a pre-book of the manual that in general is emitted by the company, the makers, the developers, just to use, let people play as sort of beta testing, you know? But this was very complete. It's not normal quick start. It's very huge, very long, a lot of infos. You can just play as 100%. So for me, it's wonderful things that I purchased, and even because it cost very few euros, 10 euros if I remember well, with a map. You see the map is the yellow one next to Alien. It was very good purchasing. Other one is Trincea 1917. Trincea means barracks. Yeah, barracks. Yeah. It described the life on World War One, the First World War, in Italy. That was very cruel. A lot of people die. It was a completely defeat. Italy was exited from the First World War with, as we say in Italy, with broken bones. A lot of people was killed. Even the government say, no, we go straight to the victory. It's something that point to your heart. Really. Point to your heart. It's something that you need to, that I think is better to prove in life. Absolutely. It's something to do. It was made by my friend Elios Poo. My friend. A nice man, nice author. And the last one is the guide for the Lazy Dungeon Master, made by Need Games. Trincea is made by Fumble GTR. And the Morkborg by Friedigen, the same of Eileen. And Brancalonia from Acheron. Rain, I don't remember. Aristea. Maybe they call Aristea. And the Lazy Dungeon Master guide is something wonderful to make adventure that have sense if you do not want to spend too much time to make the adventures. So it's very interesting. Oh, my wife is back. He's back. So the Legend Dungeon Master Guide is wonderful, and I strongly suggest it for. So this is what we did when we play. I started even a campaign online some months ago when we were in Oh, ho trovato le banane. Erano ancora dentro lo zaino, però erano parecchio soldi. Be happy, be positive, be older. Com'è andata? Anche. Simpatico. Vai, chiudi, arrivo. My wife was back from his campaign of Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, the dungeon of the Mad Mage. I quit the game. I was tired. Anyway, the last one, the Lazy Dungeon Master guide, was you can find the original one in English on DMS Guild, if I remember well, or Drive Through RPGs. There are two great online sources for purchase content and manuals, even physical one. They print and they send you at home. And this one is edited and translated by Neat Games for Italy, but you can easily find online. And this was my result. Now they are on my book store, my book place, my manual, my TTRPGs manual over there. So it was fantastic to pass this time on Lucca, and I love it to describe what Lucca means for me. I appreciate that sometimes it was possible to describe these experiences that are very intensive for me. Just to walk around, visit some thread of the other association, like a Kraken, like Round Table, Tavola Rotonda, and all the other association that take part in this project to bring the game on Lucca. So many tables, so many people playing games, fantasy, futuristic, dystopic, Uchronian, because there are games like Lex Arcana with Romans that arrives to the nowadays, or Augusta Universalis with the Romans that go to the space, like Warhammer with Roman Empire. Incredible. The only limit is the fantasy. And there is a very big movement here in Italy that tries to impose itself in this market that is very huge, and in the last years was dominated by the Swedish ones, by the English ones, and obviously by the USA, where the game was parallel born, but even in Europe. But the most well-known one is Call of Cthulhu from Chaosium. It takes all the lore from Mr. Lovecraft, and obviously Dungeons and Dragons. And another one that make himself so popular in the 90s, so popular, is Vampires the Masquerade. Vampires the Masquerade is wonderful. It's one of the best TTRPGs in the world that it pushed even by the LARPs. What is LARPs? LARPs are live action, role-playing game. It means that you take your dress of vampires and you play as yourself, as character of your gaming. It is very wonderful. It's an experience that you have to do in your life, maybe one time. You can do for LARP, you can do for vampires. Vampires is the best one for doing, but even for fantasy one, even for futuristic one, for cyberpunk, for dystopic utopian, dark fantasy. So there are everything to choose. Obviously, Lucca is not only TTRPGs, it's just a part. There are Magic card gaming, Magic card trading, Yu-Gi-Oh trading, Pokemon card training, comics, TV series, conference about the gaming, about a lot of conferences about everything. And so I think that it's a very good place to meet all together. I hope and I dream that next year it will be like this, but 100% better, and we get back to the normal Lucca comics and games, and we had a chance to bring to challenge ourselves as masters and as players, to bring more and more people to enjoy the dream that comes through with role-playing game. Anyway, guys, we are arrived at the end of this live without gaming, and I'm happy to see you be alone just with one person, but it's not important. I'm happy about that. So, let me get back to the public declaration. So, guys, thank you very much to pass your time with me. Nobody in the chat tonight except for Dabom, that I personally thank you very much. And I hope that I have not annoyed you, that I'm not so sleep maker. Anyway, it was great for me to describe this part of my life concentrated to the comics and the TTRPGs, the tabletop roleplay game. So, from your friend Ubibol, as usual, we say goodnight in the same way we did. Always. Thank you very much, guys, and have a good day and have a good night. Bye bye.